Sometimes I just wish for the dragon to give me a hug when I feel down, when I feel low. Just like now, I just try to ask the dragon sometimes, put your wings around me, just like in the beginning of when I saw you, when I first saw you. Would you do this again? And sometimes they do it, sometimes they cannot. Sometimes there is just not enough energy. The dragon's path in itself is not a choice. It is something that you accept. It is your life. It is how you were born. The dragon's path and how to become a dragon witch, is just in the beginning of your life. When you start to connect with the dragon, when you start to feel the dragon, then your path will not begin. Your path was already beginning when you were born. But when you start to see them, start to feel them, then you put one step forward on the dragon's path. But in itself, the dragon's path is not an easy path. It is not a choice. It's not something. It's something that you are born with. So a lot of people don't understand that this is not a choice. That is something what you are. With just hearing the name dragon, there is a trigger inside of you already that believes that you can connect with the dragon, with your own dragons, with your dragon's eye. In itself, that is actually not allowed. You know what magic actually is, my brothers and sisters? Magic is manipulation. Magic is a gift that you can have from nature. But in itself, it's actually to unlock what nature closed all of it. Nature closed everything down. But nature also gave you something to manipulate it. Something to just give you a key that you can open a door. And this door is the dragon's gate. The dragon's unlocking dragon's energies that you can have inside of your path, so that you can manipulate the energies of nature in itself. Where no one sees you, when no one sees it, you can see it. Things like this. And like I said, what you can feel all as well, what you can feel sometimes, it's sometimes a bit too much. And sometimes it's just a difficult path, a very difficult path that you take on. It's magic. Magic in itself is actually not allowed unless nature in itself gives you the abilities. And the dragon in itself, themselves, dragons are children of nature, children of the elements. And so they have the authority to give the elements to you, to the magical element, so that you can unlock the door. But in doing so, you will feel a lot, you will see a lot, you will become one with the dragon, but also see a lot that other people cannot see. You know, we are a spirituality, we do it on ourselves. It's a very individual path that you take a path together alongside with your dragons. Very difficult. With saying this, sometimes I like to see YouTube videos from time to time, and there was a title that I've seen about a guy from the USA, and he had the title of saying there were 3 witches inside of his church, and I was intrigued. I was saying, okay, there are 3 witches inside of your church. So what does it mean? 3 witches. Okay, this guy. There was a pastor in front of it, and he was shouting, but really shouting, filled with hatred, saying, no stinking witch will ever enchant me, no stinking witch will ever go through me, no one will ever put a spell on me, no stinking witch. He was just looking at the first row of the church, looking to a child, a little girl, and going closer and closer. You will not have my soul, you stinking witch. Just leave in the name of Jesus. But really filled with hate. I could just feel his hate with every word he said. Really. First of all, he had a misunderstanding of what is meaning a witch. What is actually the meaning of a witch? Why am I a self-proclaimed witch? First of all, it's not a witch, it's a dragon witch. A complete difference. But with saying a witch, you will say that is what people are being called if they don't feel a religious path, if they don't want to follow the crowd inside of one big community. And witches are as well someone who follows a different path, a different spiritual path, as well, that they don't want to join a community. especially back in the day, if you are not doing this, you will be burned at the stake. And that is what this guy still wants. He still wants us dead. How is this possible in 2022 that people are starting to find an alternative spirituality, that they really feel that they can unleash themselves from these religions? In 2005, when I first met my dragon, I knew that there was no religion like this. And I was actually afraid to talk about it. I was afraid of it. Even though, if not of the dragon, of course, afraid of the humans, of what they will say. But more than this, I was actually saying to myself that I should not say this to anyone, that this is actually too much. If you are not joining a community, like in religions, then it's better to stay quiet. But after 7 years on being alone, I was sick of it. I said there are more of us, so that we can actually talk about dragons, talk about an alternative spirituality. But this guy, really something else, just facing a little girl, saying to her that she's a stinking witch and she needs to leave the church, that he was giving this girl a Sunday school Bible class, that now she's not allowed anymore because she's a stinking witch. Out of nowhere. First of all, guy, let me tell you something about witches. Witches are born like this. Witches, we are all born like this. Especially dragon witches, as I came to learn like this. We are all born on the dragon's path. All of us. We are triggered with just hearing the name dragon. We immediately have someone or a dragon inside of our mind when we are thinking about them. We are born like this. And we cannot help it for opening the gate that where we belong. We belong inside of a gate. And yes, there is magic. Magic is manipulation. We cannot help to use it. It's our mind. Our mind. You know, we become a dragon witch that we know once we realize how strong our mind can be and how it can manipulate everything. We can control things like this. Of course we can hack someone. We can do this. Most of the time it will happen unintentionally, out of the emotions that we have. But we cannot help it in most cases. Most of the time when you have extreme emotions, something will happen. And that is purely, a dragon magic. When a dragon uses magic, they will not open their mouth. They will not say any words. They will just do it. Because a dragon's mind is the strongest and most purest thing, one with nature. And they can create pure manipulation. So, dragon magic, they can use this because they are one with nature. They are one with the creator. They are one with everything. One with this river. One with the trees. One with everything. And so are we. We are as well one with everything. It's the dragon that guides us and to know everything. So there is no reason to hate witches. There is no reason at all. It's not because we are born differently. It's not because we can call ourselves witches or maybe followers of the dragon in general. If we call ourselves like this, it's because we follow the dragon. Because it's our natural way. It's not because we want to hurt you. It's not because we hate you. But oh my God, you make it difficult. You make it really difficult to not lose faith in humanity. Because I lost that. But especially if I see clips like this, everyone is cheering and just this little girl was like, what is going on? And this mother next to her was saying, yes, you stinking witch. Why this hatred? Why do you have such hatred against us? And then he was even that narrow-minded, that believing that all witches are female. You know, I'm a male witch, and that is 50% male as female on the dragon's path. And I use magic in the first place, only manipulation, witchcraft, to follow the dragon and to open up the gates, not to infiltrate inside of your little church. I don't care about that. Just go to hell with your church. I don't care. No one of us cares. Why should we do so much effort to trigger you? It's just this guy. He's so rich. Everyone is throwing money at him. So much hatred. The more hatred, the more money he gets. USA. Oh my God. I'm living here in Belgium. And we are most of the time, Roman Catholics here always. I left the church here. I unbaptized myself, and no one was saying anything. Just okay. Actually, that is more popular than let yourself be baptized. But yeah, if I see things like this in the USA or maybe somewhere else, maybe in other countries like in Brazil, in Mexico, in Canada, maybe it's everywhere like this. It's because I live here in Belgium. It's pretty atheist. And if you say things like "I believe in dragons," then you are actually not a demon, but you're nuts. That is actually you're nuts. You're crazy, believing in dragons. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, just to say, this clip really was something else. But just to return to this, the dragon's path, it's something that you are born with. It's not something that, of course, you discover it later on. You discover the path of the dragon later on. And you discover the abilities what you are capable of. Not many people in this world are followers of the dragon or dragon witches. There are actually not much of us, not many of us that are triggered with the word dragon. But I have to say, it's a difficult path. It's a very difficult path, a path that we do not choose, and sometimes we just need this hug from the dragon when we are just losing it, when we are just lost in this world, completely alone, waiting for actually no one, and that we feel as an empath, feel everything about this earth. And that we can follow the dragon because it's in our nature to follow the dragon. We cannot help to become a witch. We cannot help to use magic. A dragon is magic. So if we follow the dragon, magic will naturally be a part of it. We cannot help it. So, and there is no need for hating witches. That is because you don't understand them. That is what I learned from humanity. Whatever they don't understand is being hated and feared. But why? You should first understand it. That is why they feared witches. That is why they feared dragons. Especially if you combine those two. If you are a dragon witch. Most of the time, people, first of all, they might ridicule you, but they will actually be afraid. And you have to say to them that there is no need to be afraid. Why should they? There is no need. We struggle in this path every single day, and when it's a bit too much, you just ask your dragon for this hug, for being by your side. No need to be afraid of a dragon or a witch, especially a dragon witch. Of course, you don't need to anger or trigger a dragon witch, because they can do magic, they can do hexes, they can do dark energies, like things like this, just by their own mind, by just a draconic mind. They can do that. But that is not intentionally. They don't want to be evil. We don't want to be evil, or we don't want to be like anything. We just want to follow the dragon. And the dragon is not evil. The dragon is a part of who we are. The dragon is part of nature. And it's a very natural thing to follow the dragon.